I found not a tourist, but a tour guide who also speaks German.
Yes.
And please introduce yourself to everybody.
Servus oder grüßt euch, hier ist der Olli.
Look at that, a very small New York police car right there. Hey, in today's English lesson, we are going to go into Times Square and learn some English. My hotel is right back there. Times Square is just right through that area. I'm staying just on the outside of Times Square. The first term we can learn even before we get into Times Square is crosswalk. A crosswalk is the part of the road where people can walk, the safest place people can walk. And when you are walking across a crosswalk, you're called a pedestrian. Pedestrian. Because we're walking, I'm a pedestrian right now. I'm not in a taxi, I'm not on a bike, I'm walking. I'm a pedestrian. You see those signs that are all lit up? I would call those billboards. I think most Americans would. Billboards. Well, right here, they are hosting a very famous show in the United States called Good Morning America. And there's a very famous guy in there. His name is Michael Strahan. He played for the New York Giants. And right behind me, I don't know if you can see, I don't want to be too weird, but there is a police officer. Another name you might hear for a New York police officer is New York's finest. All right, I don't know what we call it in English, but at the top of that sign, there are little like pokey things sticking out of the sign. Notice how I use some English to describe something I didn't know, like little pokey things. Those are so pigeons won't land on the sign. Let's see if we can find a New York pigeon. Something tells me it is not going to take long. I think I've spotted one. Nice fat pigeon, probably getting fat off all of the trash left on the ground here in Times Square. But you know what? I'm filming this in the morning, but there are a lot of people who get paid, maybe by the city, to clean up the ground and empty the trash cans. And for the most part, it's pretty clean here. We would call that a garbage truck that just passed, trying to keep New York City clean. See the dad shoes there? I just kicked the curb. That's a curb is like a little thing that sticks out on the road. You need to be careful of. You don't want to trip. Lots of construction going on in Times Square. Things are always being built. There is a store here in Times Square called Pele Soccer. I went in last night. I don't think it was that great of a store, but a lot of the jerseys that had Pele's number on it, was he number 10? It said Jamaica. Why is that? Please let me know in the comments. I know he's from Brazil, but all the jerseys were Jamaican. All right, we are going to come to the part of the video that scares me most. I am going to try to talk to a few tourists, maybe from other countries, about learning English and how their English has either helped them or hurt them when they came here to the United States. Let's see if anybody will talk to us on camera. There are some steps here in Times Square. I'm not sure why, and I'm not sure why they're closed, but they are definitely roped off. We can teach you that term maybe, roped off. And I don't know who that statue is. Father Duffy, it says. That statue is of Father Duffy. I'm not sure who that is. I probably should know, right? Okay, I chickened out. I didn't ask anybody. Do you know that term? Chickened out? It's when you get scared and you can't do something. We'll come back. I'll try to find some more tourists, but I get so nervous. Let's go up to probably my favorite shop here in Times Square, and that is a donut shop. It's just right up here. I think that's some Arabic written there. Do you know Arabic? Let me know in the comments. What does that say? Maybe something about jewelry? Another term I think I can teach you is jaywalking. If you cross the street and you are not in a crosswalk, that is called jaywalking. In most cities where it's not too busy, it's not a big deal. You won't get in trouble. But in New York City, I think you could get fined. If you get fined, that means you have to pay some money because you did something bad. But we are here at Krispy Kreme. When I used to live in Alabama, Alabama is a state in the southern part of the United States. I used to love to get Krispy Kreme. All right, I will try to get up the nerve to ask some tourists. Get up the nerve, that means when you're scared to do something, but then you find the courage to do it. So I'm gonna try to get up the nerve to ask some tourists how it is here in New York City. How's their English? Is it hard? Do you even need to know English? All right, I'm sitting at this table trying to figure out who is a tourist and who isn't. I think a pretty good bet is if they are taking pictures of themselves, which we call a selfie, or taking pictures of somebody else, there's a good chance that they are a tourist. So I think I'm going to walk over and ask a couple people if they will be on camera. Okay, I got some details here from Margarita, but she couldn't be on camera here. And I can't say what she does for work. But what she wanted me to know, what I wanted to know from her, where did these stairs come from? Why are they here? Okay, so right around the corner, if you ever come to New York and you want to see a Broadway play, this place, it's called TKTS. Margarita kept saying that, and I had to ask her, what does that mean? And she said, oh, that is where you can come and get 50% off Broadway tickets. Now, I've been here a couple days. I have never seen these ticket booths open. We would call these ticket booths. I've never seen them open, but apparently you can get discounted Broadway shows. Well, the hours are here. Just disappeared, of course. But I've never seen it open. And my daughter went to see a play last night called Little Shop of Horrors. There's a billboard for it right up here. And we tried to get discounted tickets. We eventually found them online, but it wasn't through TKTS. The next thing, oh, what was that guy's name? Was it Father Murphy? No, Father Duffy. Father Duffy. She said that he was a chaplain. That might be a new term for you. A chaplain is a religious person who goes with the troops when they are in war. And Margarita said that he was in the Spanish-American War, he was in the Mexican War, and he was in World War I. And he just went with the troops. And of course, when there was death in the war, he would give them their last rites. He would perform all of those religious services. And apparently, because this is roped off, I can't get too close, but there is a QR code. I'm not sure if you can see that. We call it a QR code in English, and you can scan that, and then it says you can hear him talk. So I don't think it will work on this video, and I can't get too close, but I guess maybe try it. I don't know how it works. I'm old, remember? All right, I got as close as I could. Margarita also told me this is Broadway. So this used to be a street, but then they closed it off because it was getting dangerous. There were so many tourists around here that people were getting in the way of traffic and people were almost getting hit. So they closed this part of Broadway so that tourists can walk around and not be afraid of getting hit by a vehicle. See, they look like tourists. They have a lot of luggage, but I don't want to stop them. I don't want to make them feel weird. Look at this guy, he also has luggage. All right, everybody, I found not a tourist, but a tour guide who also speaks German.
Yes.
And please introduce yourself to everybody.
Servus und grüßt euch, hier ist der Olli. Oh, sorry. G'day, how are you? My name is Olli from Holiday Tours. I hope you're all doing good.
So if you don't speak English, but do you speak any other languages besides German and English?
Eu falo um pouco português também, so I speak Portuguese.
Okay,
Yeah.
So check this guy out if you want a tour and your English isn't great, Ollie can take care of you.
Yeah, I can take care in German, obviously, in English, of course. And contact me nice and early. I've got more than 150 tour days already this year. And Germans are very fast in booking me. Can't wait. Hooray! Hey.
Thank you, sir. That's awesome. Yeah. All right, that's awesome. So for anyone who speaks German, Ollie can take care of you. Seems like quite a character. All right, I understand if English isn't your first language, you might be a little nervous to get on camera. Luckily, we found Ollie, but the people he was with, they were also from Germany. They were speaking a lot of German off camera. They did not want to be on camera. A couple other people I asked, they were just too nervous. I totally understand. Hey, that is the end of this English lesson. That doesn't mean you have to stop learning English. Right up there is a lesson I did at my hotel room just outside of Times Square. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Wow, looks like a lot of tourists, but they look like they're also making a news program of some sort. They have way better cameras than I do.